Hey, how are you guys? You know, everybody knows about getting an education, you know, whether it's a high school education, a college education, a postgraduate degree, but very few talk about self-education. And that's what I really want to get at with you guys today. You know, I was the first child in my family ever to go to college. And I'll admit to you, I screwed up the first time. I dropped out after 2 years, ended up going back later. It's not surprising that Diane Hochman didn't fit into a regular classroom. But I was blessed and given an education. And when I got into network marketing in 1999, I decided that this was going to be my profession. I didn't think it was a whim. It wasn't something I was just going to try. I just said that this was my profession. And if I had gone to school for 4 years to become a teacher, they tried to put me in prison and torture children, making them conjugate Spanish verbs, and I just couldn't do it. But if I had gone to school for 4 years for that, I figured, heck, the least I could do is spend 6 months and do some reading on the industry and get myself up to speed, because my goal was to be a professional network marketer, not just some guy running around town putting a few people in. I wanted to be a professional. I wanted the big income. I wanted to be looked to as a professional, not the you know, the XYZ lady coming around to try to sell you stuff and make you have a party. So I want to show you guys today a little bit of the self-education that I did, and I'm just going to touch on it. I've read so much, I've listened to so much, and the reason why is very simple. Everybody I came across that had the X factor, everybody that I saw that was doing what I wanted to do, had self-educated. I'm going to take you downstairs to my dining room table. I've laid out just a few of the things I've read. I want to share them with you. So I'll be right back. Here we are, and I just threw across my dining room table just some, and I do mean some of the books I dug into and I read when I was getting started and over the years. I just want to go through and I just want to give you guys some ideas. I'm not suggesting that you should run out and get all these titles. In fact, I'll give you my biggest secret. eBay. If you put in a search on eBay on MLM or network marketing, you'll constantly find people kind of blown out on network dumping all their books, and you can pick them up for a song. And these are some of the ones that I still have. I've been through zillions of them and dumped them, you know, back on eBay again. So if you're on a limited budget, don't think, oh gosh, how am I going to do this? Think about, gosh, you know, I could start with 10 bucks, go buy a couple things, read them, absorb them, and then release them. Put them back into the, you know, and recoup sometimes all of the money you spent or most of the money you spent, and then go ahead and reinvest in the next thing. Of course, you want to keep certain things as you go along. If you find something that's really valuable, you don't want to dump it. But let's just look, and I'm just going to point out just a couple of the major influences. I'm not going to go over them all. But here, you know, guys, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. If you have not read this book, I have to, and I'll put my finger on it there, I credit this man for showing me what is an asset and what is a liability in his fun little story. And because of it, I turned around and aggressively hit my debt. You know, a lot of people out there, they're telling you, you got to get a Mercedes, you got to fake it till you make it. Well, I didn't care about any of that. I wanted to become financially free. And I finally came to understand that all my consumer debt and all that type of stuff was what was killing me and killing the people that I knew. So Wave 3 and Wave 4, these are classics. Richard Poe, you know, they're a little outdated now, but they show you the history of new technology and how it rolled in. You might want to grab those. Let's see. Future Choice, The Fifth Principle, Michael Clouse. You can go to his site, or you can go head over, and you always find these guys on eBay. Great books, great trainer. Gosh, John Callench, guys, he was a legend in the industry. If you can get some tapes of him, unfortunately he's passed away. The Greatest Opportunity in the History of the World. Just reading the beginning of this book will change the way you think. Oh gosh, Dan Kennedy, Prospecting Sucks. Guys, here's stacks of Networking Times. This is a professional journal for networkers. I have a subscription to that, stacks of them. Multiple streams of income. People often ask me, Robert, a lot of people ask, you know, well, my business philosophy, how was it sculpted? It was sculpted by a lot of my teachers. And this is one of them, the idea of having multiple streams of income from the same people passing by. Mike Littman. Mike Littman's an amazing guy, and this is just interviews from his radio show with all these millionaires. Another Robert Kiyosaki book. Guys, Dale Maloney. Here, let me put this here with this. Dale Maloney, another legend in the talk about a man who overcame a lot to become highly successful. He's kind of like the granddaddy of the industry. Highly worth checking out. Paul Zane Pilzer. He was economist for President Reagan. He's written multiple books. I know I got a little reflection here, sorry. Multiple books about the wellness industry, where that's going, why it's going to be such a large industry. Guys, this book, can't recommend it enough. If my product's so great, how come I can't sell it? This is real common sense advice from the lovely Kim Klaver. Gosh, it's a great book. If you're somebody who's involved in a lot of retailing or health and wellness products, takes away all the silliness in the sales and just breaks it down. Beyond the Veil, Len Clements is an expert on the industry. Let's see what else. Oh gosh, back here, Dr. King. This is the guy who did the, with Tim Sales, he did those great little videos all about network marketing and how it works. So that's his book. Now guys, if you know Jim Rohn, you need to know Jim Rohn. If you are on my MySpace, you'll see I have multiple pictures with him. I've had the honor and privilege of having dinner with Jim, sitting with Jim in very small groups, even been on vacation to Jamaica with Jim and a group of people. If you don't know Jim Rohn, get on Jim Rohn. You can go get his little network marketing CD. It's like $6 or something. Go get it. So there's lots of stuff. The E-Myth, Michael Gerber, business. This is a classic. John Milton Fogg, the greatest networker in the world. It's just a wonderful story about a man who's searching for answers, just like I was. Dare to Dream, Work to Win, Dr. Tom Barrett. Here's one of my big influences. Randy Gage, this is How to Build a Multi-Level Money Machine. This book's, older now. He has a lot of other materials out. Gosh, I could recite Randy Gage's tapes, big influence of mine. So let's go on. Let's see what else is there here. Your first year, there we go. Your first year in network marketing. If you're newbie to the industry, Mark Yarnell and Renee Yarnell. Guys, these are, Mark Yarnell's a king, worth reading. Let's see. Guys, how about, learning about how to operate a business? Y'all are looking to make 6 figures. Have you read any books about operating a business? Have you read any books about how to set up your, your finances and stuff? Highly recommend it. Larry, wing it, stop whining, shut up, stop whining, shut up, stop whining, and get a life. So just a lot of fun. James Ray, guys, he was in The Secret, amazing teacher. The Richest Men in Babylon, Jim Rohn prescribed this book. I've read it many, many times. When a guy that I admire says read a book, I read it. And then The Greatest Secret in the World, The Magic of Thinking Big. Dale Calvert recommended both of those books. And I grabbed them, and I have a whole pile upstairs I didn't even bring downstairs. The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, of course, anything by Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, and all his subsequent books. The Science of Getting Rich. There's just a ton of them. But most of the people I talk to haven't even read one book, and this is a fraction of the books on the industry I've read, not to mention things on personal growth, spiritual growth, and so on and so forth. So when you look at people and you go, wow, that guy is something else. That gal, man, they're incredible. I could never be like that. I want you to remember I was just a fat little housewife that dared to dream. And I figured out that the one thing that they all did, all these guys that had the X Factor, every single one of them, they were readers and learners. If you're saying to me right now, I don't know, I can't read, go get some tapes. Gosh, tapes, CDs, come on. Look, here you go. I'm pulling them out. Tapes, CDs, I have thousands of them. You have not an excuse. You can train yourself. Think about it. It's all programming. If you know the Brady Bunch theme, if you're over the age of 25, you know the Brady Bunch theme. And if you know that theme, if you stop and think about it, did anybody make you memorize it? Did anybody say, you got to learn this? No, it went in by osmosis. Can you sing Gilligan's Island? Did anybody say, you got to learn this? No, it went in by osmosis. Can you sing Gilligan's Island and all the words to that? You can sing network marketing. You can become a professional marketer. Just make a decision to self-educate and make a decision to program yourself. Take control of your mind. And when the things that spout out of my